All right, everybody, welcome to the fifth and final edition of the D-Cember QNA, where I answer your questions from the Ask.fm. I promised 5 Q&As the week of Christmas, and that's what I've delivered. This is now the fifth and final one. If you want to ask questions for the future, you can always throw them into ask.fm/geekdom101, but I'm not going to be doing one of these for quite some time. Then again, maybe I will. I haven't decided yet, but maybe I will. So, let's go ahead and get to these questions and knock as many of them out as we can. First question here. Yo, Geekdom, is there any cultural beef in Tampa where you're from? In South Cali, it's Mexicans versus Armenians. Well, it's funny you mentioned that because Mexicans versus Armenians, I have friends on both sides, and I remember hearing about that, but it's been a while since I've heard about it. I didn't know it was still going on. I would say the only real cultural beef in Tampa is probably like Puerto Ricans versus Cubans, but even that's something that like took place like 15 years ago. I don't know if that's still going on, but I guess that's always going to be like a rivalry, but I wouldn't say it's like beef to where you've got people fighting and, you know, physically harming each other. It's just more of a friendly thing. I try to stay away from that kind of stuff, but as far as I've seen in this town, it's pretty safe. So, is there a Russian dub of DBZ? I've never seen it before, so maybe. I've never seen it before. Yo, Geekdom, is Goku's and Vegeta's base equal to SS God? Huge fan. It's a good question. The way it's described is that they use a form or whatever, they use when they're in their base after training with Whis and whatnot, they have what's called Saiyan beyond God or Saiyan beyond God, and a lot of people think that that is SS God, and the reason why I'm skeptical of saying that it is because in the manga, Toyotaro has Goku transform into his God form. Excuse me, and as a result of that, I don't think it's the same thing. I think that there's God Ki inside of them, but I don't think it's SS God. I don't think it's the same power. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Hey, Geekdom, if there was any moment in the Dragon Ball Z GT Super that you could witness firsthand, what would it be and why? From Ronan. None, because they would all be way too dangerous. What's your favorite place to sit down? Right here. Have you ever seen a picture that has made you say, fuck, I fucking hate this pic? Yeah, any of that, like, you know, any of that, like, SS God is stronger than SS GSS, any of those fan-made pictures are garbage. You and Miss Dare Fusion should do more vids together. I agree. I have a friend who uses me. He only comes to my house, takes a shit, and then makes an excuse to leave. How do I break off my friendship with him? Just lock the door. Do you think Dragon Ball Chow should go past the end of Z? I don't know what Dragon Ball Chow is, brother. I've never heard of that before. Chow? Dragon Ball Chow? I have no idea what that is. Is Quaman a Nigerian American? No, Quaman is not Nigerian. Do you think that Bandai should put Master Roshi as DLC for Xenoverse 2 if they have a Universal Survival Pack? He could spin around on his shell to fly. I don't think they're going to do that. I would love to see it. I just don't think it'll happen. Why is this Super Saiyan Godo and not Super Saiyan Kami? The only answer I can think of at Super Saiyan God isn't the Kami of the Saiyans, but that's just my own headcanon, Jack Johnson. No, you're wrong. It's because Toriyama chose to use the English word for God, and that's why. He could have called it Super Saiyan Kami, Super Saiyan Shin, but instead it's Super Saiyan God because he's using the English word for God. That's the only thing. You don't overthink that. It's just that it's called Super Saiyan God, not Super Saiyan Kami. How do you feel about Goku taking on a female as his apprentice successor and she was gifted like him, became a prominent character? Would you feel any different if she was a Saiyan or not? How do you think Dragon Ball fandom would receive her? Other than people who are sexist douchebags and chauvinists, I don't see that being a problem at all. Really don't. Do you think the reason Chaozu is in the tournament in Master Roshi's place is because Tien doesn't want him to die? If so, I mean, that could be. Is there any reason for Yamcha not to be there other than the baseball episode and the fact that he's Toei's meme? I think you answered your own question, bro. I think because he's kind of a meme now, and I think Roshi's there because of his experience. Will you ever do a video about the relationship between Trunks and Maya, how you feel it came about? We'd have to get more information first, is the only way I would do that. I would need more information first. Do you think it's possible that Pikkon could have been killed by Hit because someone wanted Pikkon dead because of how strong he was at the time and Hit lived for many years? No. Hit was in Universe 6. Hit only crossed over to Universe 7 because of this special mission with Goku. Hit doesn't know who Pikkon is. Pikkon's not in the manga. he's not, you know, part of Toriyama's original story. I don't think that's the case at all. Will you ever do a Q&A with Black and Fist and or Uncanny Megan? If you already have. Sorry, I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if I've done a Q&A with Black and Fist. I did one on his channel, so go to his channel. And as far as Uncanny Megan goes, I haven't spoken to her in months, so I don't know. It's just not something that I'm thinking about right now. I got too much other content, you know, on top of me. Let's see here. Hey, Geekdom, do you think it's possible that Hit killing Goku was part of training by Whis? Well, I'm not going to go into spoilers because I already went through this. If you want my answer for that, because there's people watching this who don't want spoilers. If you want my answer to that, check out my Dragon Ball Super episode 72 preview. I'd rather just save the spoilers for people. Let's see here. Who's your favorite Japanese porn star? My favorite porn star is Anri Okita, but I'm going to pronounce it against Itomi Tanaka because you're a titty guy. I love Itomi Tanaka. I don't know if she's my favorite, but I love her. I like Hana Haruna as well. What do you think of the idea of Zeno creating Chronoa after the defeat of Zamasu and having Trunks and Mai be the founding members of the Time Patrol with the mission to fix and protect time, leading to a parallel Xenoverse universe? Would that be better than ending to Trunks arc? I would love that ending, actually. I personally would. I don't know if you guys think. If you let me know your comments if you like that ending or not. It would be a whole new canon, though, and I hate using that word, but it would be a whole new retelling of Xenoverse, because that's not how the Time Patrol started. You know, the Chronoa storyline's totally different, but I personally think that would be a pretty cool, like, homage. Let's see here. I think the idea of bringing the Omni King from Trunks' timeline is horrible because they all technically screwed over Trunks' timeline. What are your thoughts on this? See, they didn't really screw over Trunks' timeline. Zamasu is the one who screwed it over. You know what I mean? He's the one to blame for that. There was really nothing else they could do at that point. Once Zamasu started fusing with the universe, that was kind of it. Like, that was kind of it. Would you like a spin-off series where future Trunks and Mai are the main protagonists and enlist the help of Fat Boo, Android 16, and Yajirobe as new Z fighters? I don't know if Master Roshi was alive, but he could be the wise man of the group. Maybe Jocko could be the guest ally of the group. That'd be fun. I'd be cool with that. I like it. Does the Saiyan get a Zenkai boost if they die and resurrect, or even in the afterlife if they keep their body? Yes. Yes, they do. And that is confirmed in the anime when Vegeta comes back to life on Namek and he wakes up from the grave and he's like, I've gotten stronger. Yes, you do get Zenkai when you die. Because it's like you're right before your body comes close to death, it gets injured, right? So, I mean, that counts. Do you think that Krillin got stronger from the time he had his potential unlocked to the time he died on Namek? Wouldn't his fights against Goldo, Raccoon, and even Frieza count as training? A little bit. I would say sure, but it's hard to gauge that. If future Trunks was 17 when he killed Frieza, he was 20 when he returned to help him fight the androids. Isn't that enough time to get stronger and best the androids himself? Yeah, I don't believe he was 20 when he came back. I think he just came back like 6 months later from the future. It was 3 years into the past, but I honestly don't remember off the top of my head. I had this whole timeline written down. I don't remember exactly the details of it, but I don't think he was 20 when he came back. But still, to answer your question, you would think so. How does Cell kill future Trunks? If future Trunks was on his way to tell Z Fighters that he had defeated the androids, if that's the case, wouldn't future Trunks make quick work of Cell at that point? Well, the common fan theory is that Trunks did not beat the androids physically, that Trunks and Bulma discovered some kind of a remote control. That's not official. That's a popular fan theory, but it never says that Trunks actually defeated the android. So, you know, not like it never says that he actually killed them himself. Did Vegeta get stronger than Goku after being healed from his fight against Raccoon? He was able to take on Frieza's first form, so wouldn't that make him stronger than Goku at that point? If he is, no wonder he took off when Goku asked him to fight Geese while he fought Ginyu. Vegeta was insulted. Very possible. Makes a lot of sense, actually, what you're saying. But I think Goku could have probably taken on first form Frieza at that time as well. Then again, Goku doing the Kaioken, he hit 180,000, but I think he could have probably gone up even higher because he could have multiplied his power. So I think with the Kaioken, yes, Goku could have taken on Frieza first form. Why aren't the Z Fighters smart enough to break the Senzu beans in half like Goku did when he saved Krillin and Gohan from Nappa? It sure would have helped future Gohan when he gave the last bean to Trunks, or it could have helped in the Namek saga a lot. I agree, they could have divided it up. You would think that they would do that, you know. We don't even know the real power of those beans if you cut them in half. Did Chaozu ever surpass Yamcha? I don't think so. Are Saibai-men loyal to Frieza or the Saiyans? If Nappa hadn't used them on Earth and somehow they ended up in Vegeta's possession, would he have used them on Namek? At the very least, they're a good distraction. Good point about that. I think that the Saibai-men are loyal to the Saiyans. I do believe that. We only see them hang out with Saiyans. We never see Frieza even mention them, so I think it's more of a Saiyan thing. Is Tarble weaker than Raditz? I think so. Could be wrong, but I think so. Excluding Master Roshi, which character from the original Dragon Ball would have been the most qualified and willing to become a Z fighter, assuming Kami had opted to take a 6th apprentice when preparing for the Saiyan battle? Ooh, that is a good question. Including villains, I would like to have seen like Tao Pai Pai or one of those guys. You know, they turned a new leaf, but that's a good question. A lot of those guys from the tournament, like Gidan and, you know, King Chappa. I think King Chappa had potential. He could have probably been trained. Sudu Senning, for sure. And definitely, if you want to talk about Baba's people, like Mummy Man and Dracula Man and Devil Man, they would definitely be, I feel, perfect for, you know, for training. Especially Devil Man. I've talked about in the past how the Devil Might Beam can kill anybody who's evil. So I think, like, yeah, like, he would be quite useful, I would say. I hope you have a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. That's from Jared Dilly. Do you think future Trunks will visit the past again in Super, and will Vegeta visit Planet Sadal? I hope so for both of those, because I feel like that's unfinished business. When Fat Boo fought Kid Boo, was he strong? Was he as strong as he was when he fought Majin Vegeta and Dabura? No, he was not. Fat Boo seemed to have most of his power when Brown Boo came out. Exactly. See, you answered your own question. So did he get it back when Kid Boo spit him back out? If so, how the hell did it not weaken Kid Boo? No, it didn't. Kid Boo was in his original state. Fat Boo was already untied inside of Kid Boo, so that's what kind of reverted him to his original state. And you're right. The Fat Boo that fought Majin Vegeta was not as strong as, or I'm sorry, was stronger than the Fat Boo that fought Kid Boo. I do wonder if that Fat Boo had fought Kid Buu, what would have happened. How old do you think Goku? I think he's 400. How about you? Well, he's definitely not 400, bro. Unless you meant to say 40, then that makes more sense. Do you think Goku can go CSS3 and DBZ Super? Well, there's no such thing as DBZ Super, bro, so forget that. What if Cooler returns to the Universe 4 fighter? I mean, why? How? And will Universe 6 have new fighters? They have to. They have 10 guys. What about a Chi Keymaster? Well, all that stuff is, I don't know yet. We don't know. In GT, would the people of Earth really lose hope if Mr. Satan lost against Uub in the tournament? Mr. Satan surely wanted to give his title to Pan. He could have done so for Uub. I mean, he knew him. Maybe, but I think the whole gimmick is that Satan wanted to stay on top as long as possible. That could be true. Do you think Goku, Chi-Chi, Gohan, and Videl would approve of Uub for Pan if there was a romantic interest? Oh boy, the Uub-Pan shipping. Where have I heard this before? When they're older, of course. I'm sure Goku would. What about Goten? Well, Goku doesn't care. Goten with Marin, Krillin's daughter. Do you think 18 would oppose while Goku and Krillin celebrated? I don't think they would even care. They don't care, dude. Like, listen, the fact that Bulma was impregnated by Vegeta should tell you they don't care. You gotta remember, when Vegeta impregnated Bulma, Vegeta was not a nice guy. I mean, he was not the evil bastard that he was at the beginning of the series, the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, but he definitely was, you know, still kind of a douchebag. So there you go. SS2 Vegeta surpasses 3 Goku, correct? So how come SS2 Vegeta, SS2 Black Goku fought on par? Can Black even go SS3? Thanks. Well, okay. SS2 Black Goku, first of all, we don't know if it's SS2. Second of all, we know that Goku Black is way stronger. Goku Black has a much higher base power. So that's why. Also, again, I don't know if it's SS2 Vegeta. It doesn't seem to be. So that's again, these are things that aren't really explained thoroughly. So I can't really give you an answer on that. As far as can Black go SS3, I don't think so. We haven't seen it yet. I mean, until we see it, I can't say he can or can't. Do you think Vegeta Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20 without him being Red 1 stand a chance against Grand Priest? Without him being Red 1s. I don't know what that means. I don't think Vegeta can beat the Grand Priest, though. So, if he can't beat Beerus, he can't beat the Grand Priest. Assuming it is powerful enough or gather enough energy, does a Genki Dama have the capability to harm Beerus? What about Whis? I'm asking because I don't know if those two can be considered as not evil. Well, they're godlike entities. They're god entities. So I think that they're kind of beyond the whole scope of good and evil. So I don't know if it can. I don't know if it can. Again, I can't really answer this because we don't have any examples or any hints of it in the series. But I would presume that a Genki Dama would not work against Beerus. I would presume that. I could be wrong. I would presume that. We don't have enough information for me to answer that. Besides Tenshin Han and Chaozu, Mr. Satan, and Baba, do you think it's possible that any of the following Earthling characters could have survived Boo's human extinction attack? 17, Karin, Yajirobe, Tights. Thinking. Karin and Yajirobe were on the tower. We didn't actually see them die, but it's presumed that they did. Tights has probably died. 17 probably died too. It's Majin Buu. I mean, they didn't show him dodging. It's possible, but again, if we don't see it, I can't say yes for sure. If it took a month to arrive at Namek with a Namekian ship and Goku's ship made it in 6 days with modern Saiyan technology, where the hell were Vegeta and Nappa that took them a whole year to get to Earth? Well, remember, they were farther away, number one. Number two, Goku's ship was upgraded. Even though it was Saiyan technology, it was upgraded. So that is one reason why. But yeah, Vegeta and Nappa were much farther away. I'm going to go down and answer some random questions. Alright? And they won't be showing your tits. Fusion between 16 and 17, Super 16. You mean 17 and 18. 16's not around. What do I get my mom for Christmas? Whatever she likes. Let's skip around here, and then we'll be done. We'll be out of here in a second. Does Goku get more clueless or dumb by age? It appears to be the case, doesn't it? Why didn't Bulma, Mai, and the Time Machine and the others die, get destroyed during Zamasu's face Sky Blast, the universe attack, but Goku and Vegeta Trunks all got flattened by it? Because they were protected. I mean, if I remember correctly, they were in the area, and they were protected by Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks. So that's why. Eloy says, can you explain to me how it is that Fat Buu exists after being removed from Super Buu? To my understanding, Fat Buu was a Majin Buu with the Supreme Kai absorbed. I answered this in an earlier Q&A this week, so go check it out. But pretty much, Fat Buu did have the Kai absorbed, and the way I've always understood it is that they were assimilated for so long that it became a separate entity. That's the way I've always figured it out, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense. That's the only thing that makes any sense, is a separate entity. In Battle of God, shouldn't Beerus have recognized Buu? No, he would have recognized Kid Buu, I would think, more than Fat Buu, right? I would think. Don't know for sure. Hello from Adelaide, Australia. Quick thank you. I'm 25 and grew up watching DBZ. Your channel taught me a lot about Dragon Ball, and I want to say thanks. Well, I appreciate that. My question is, do you think Frieza and or Cell could be beaten by DBS, Krillin, Piccolo, Yamcha, or Tenshin Han? Piccolo, yes, without question. Yamcha, Tenshin Han, probably. Well, okay, Frieza. We're talking about Namek Saga Frieza. All of them, I think. Well, no, let me think. Okay, Namek Saga Frieza would absolutely lose to Krillin, Piccolo, Tenshin Han. Don't know about Yamcha. Cell, I think, would lose to Krillin and Piccolo. Then again, okay, if you remember, Tenshin Han was able to deflect a blast from Super Gotenks Buu. So he's pretty fucking strong. And that tells me that Tenshin Han may have been able to beat Cell. And we're talking about Dragon Ball Super based on power scaling. I think he could have. I think it's possible. Let's see here. I'm just going to randomly skip around. My favorite character is Champa. Okay. If Dragon Ball Z was a darker, more gritty anime that had more death and dealt more mature themes, do you think it would have been a masterstroke by Toriyama to end the series with Goku transforming into a Super Saiyan killing Frieza? That's just not what it is, though. Like, I think, first of all, you say you want a darker, more gritty. I think it's already pretty damn dark, but it's not gritty. There's a lot of death in that series, and there's a lot of mature themes as well, even though it is a wacky gag manga. So, as far as ending the series there, it's very commonly said by many people that that's not a bad place to end the series. So I would tend to agree that that would have been a pretty epic ending. That I do agree on. Let's keep going here. All right, who's stronger, Bulma or Chi-Chi? I mean, that's easy, Chi-Chi. Let's see here. Big D, I'm a big fan of yours, and you're my go-to channel for all Dragon Ball content. Now, my question is, what would you change about the Goku Black arc? I personally changed Black's backstory a bit to not use the Potara retcon. Curious to hear what you would do. Thanks. I agree with the Potara retcon. I would have built up the Zamasu hatred a little tiny bit more. I would have definitely changed the ending. The ending would have been totally different. Just would have come up with something better, I think. I would have had a happier ending for Trunks, and that's pretty much it. I probably would have made it a little bit longer and more drawn out, too. Sunline, what if you put a house back in its capsule and there's people in it? They would shrink. That's always been my guess. We haven't seen that yet, I don't think. We've ever seen that before. Hey, Geekdom, after Future Zeno destroyed Trunks' universe to destroy the gaseous... I haven't heard that before. Zamasu. Are there 2 Trunks and 2 Mai's now? Yes, that was actually stated by Whis. There are 2 Trunks and 2 Mai's. How strong will Super be at the end of Super? Well, I don't know, bro. At the end of Z? I don't know. Too soon to tell. What are your thoughts on Transformers? TV series, Generation 1 or Armada, Beast Wars Prime? I like Generation 1. Beast Wars I thought was criminally overrated. Everybody loved it when I was a kid. I couldn't stand it. Same with Beast Machines. And I haven't seen any of the newer ones, so I can't comment. But I love Generation 1 and the old movie. Sebastian Meyer, a friend of mine talking about SNS God being stronger than Blue. I can't seem to understand it. Well, anybody who says that's a fucking idiot. I mean, at this point, listen, it's been a year now. If people are still saying that, it's just them not paying attention. Because there's no way you can watch this series and still believe that unless you're literally making up your own headcanon and using that to make up for what's really going on. Because there's literally countless upon countless of pieces of evidence that prove otherwise. And if you think otherwise, you're just being an idiot. I mean, you are. You're being stupid. You're being willfully ignorant. See what I'm saying? And sorry, not sorry. Would the idea of perfect God Cell be interesting enough for a story? Frieza got his return. Boo will get his with Uub. That's not the same thing. I understand Toriyama said in an interview that Cell is difficult to draw, but considering that Cell has Saiyan DNA, it seems the resources for this are in place. Well, Toriyama wouldn't even be drawing a manga, so that's irrelevant. That's an irrelevant point. And no, I don't think it would be that interesting of a story because I'm tired of them bringing back old villains for nostalgia. I don't want that anymore. Personally, I don't want to see it anymore. I don't see it. Let's see here. Do you think having to report Dragon Ball news spoils the story for you? Always knowing spoilers may ruin the surprise. A little bit, but I've noticed that they're very good at keeping a lot of things secret. Like, for example, the end of the last arc was kept a big secret, and we all try to figure it out. So I would say, no, not really, because they always have a way of keeping shit a secret. So there's always a surprise somewhere. You know what I mean? One more question, and we're going to get the fuck out of here. Let's see. Collab with D-Free. Maybe. Eventually. Base guy with boys. I mean, come on, bro. Use your head. No, I have never seen One Piece. Let's see. This guy says, hello, Geekdom. New to Ask FM, but it's cancer. Yeah, right? I guess this will be the last question. When Kid Buu killed the Supreme Kais, why didn't they get their bodies back? He absorbed them more than anything. But you talk about he killed them. Yeah, you're right. I guess they just went right to heaven. Elder Kai died by giving his life to Goku and gets his body back immediately. Why didn't the other Supreme Kais get theirs? The answer is I have no idea. Call it a plot hole, call it inconsistency, whatever. I have no idea. So, what do you think of Keyboard Warriors? I've already said that. This guy, ABCDFG, if you had 1 million subscribers, 50 million, would your Ruby play button be designed after Frieza with glasses? YouTube designs those, not me. Do you think Dragon Ball continue with games and Super and other stuff in 10 years from now? I think they could. I don't know if they will. That should do it for me. Thanks, or that's going to do it for this Q&A, that is. Thanks so much for checking out the Q&A and checking out all the other Q&As this week. I really appreciate all the support that we've gotten here on Geekdom 101, and I'm very blessed and thankful for that. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys down the road, and look forward to more exciting content here at Geekdom 101. I'm going to keep pumping it out until I am dead, which hopefully won't be for at least a few more years. Talk to you down the road.